For starters, I mean, I'm here at Loren Shoop, Big Island. He lives on Oahu now, and we know each other through a local startup, local business accelerator that helps small businesses and startups. And so that's how we met. That was 2019. Shout out to Mana Up, cohort four.
Yeah.
I think it's like 9 or something now.
I think they're eight. At least eight.
When we last December is when I saw you at Bloomingdale's when it had the showcase. It was the first showcase in a couple of years. I think that was cohort 8 or 9.
Was it?
I remember thinking it doubled. Yeah. That's what I remember thinking.
Okay, yeah.
But our showcase was the best.
Yeah. That's right. Pre-COVID.
So yeah, man, like how do you self-introduce yourself? Like, go ahead, tell people who you are.
My name is Loren Shoop, born and raised over on the Big Island. My mom was also born and raised over there, so I still have a lot of family there, all my cousins, aunties, uncles, and all that. I've been on Oahu the past 11 years, almost 12 years, and I've been involved in the local value-added local food products here in Hawai'i. So basically something like they would grow macadamia nuts. So a company would flavor and roast them and package it, and then I will be the one that goes and sells it at farmers markets or stores and things like that. So I've been working with companies that make like jams and jellies out of local fruits and veggies, coffees, teas, honeys, just pretty much anything you can imagine that has to do with like Hawaii local agriculture and a value-added product. So I haven't sold a lot of like commodities where I'm just selling the raw product. I'm in the value-added where it's like a CPG, like a consumer packaged good. So that maybe the airports or foodlands or down to earth, or like I said, I sell them at farmers markets. Now since COVID, we've reached, like everyone else, reached into the e-commerce side of it. So we have that rolling around. That's called Hawaiian Farmers Market. So yeah, just kind of involved in the local agriculture scene.
I feel like if I was educated enough, we could deep dive on the conversation that surrounds Hawaii, sustainability, food resiliency, those kind of conversations.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think 2020 put that on the map for most people as far as, oh, shit, there's no ships coming, or toilet paper was the obvious one.
Yeah.
But I thought about food and sustainability. Also, as someone who, when I moved back to Hawaii in 2016, that's when I started fishing. And so it's, well, I don't know, 5+ years now. And that really opened my eyes to the fragile nature of food and the connection that we have to it. It's also was my way of reconnecting with the ocean. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm too old to be like at Sandy's anymore. Like, I don't want to risk it.
You got kids, man.
I got kids. I'm like, if I'm out, like limping for 2 weeks, it's not the same.
No good. Yeah.
But I can go to the beach, come back with something to eat. So like that really rekindled my love for the ocean, going to the ocean. But then it kind of led to unforeseen like thoughts of, what if I had to make my own? And fishing, if you fish, you probably farm. If you farm, you probably hunt. If you hunt, you probably fish. There's like this sustainability culture that's been here, right? And I feel like I just started tapping into it here in my mid-30s. Yeah. You know, I felt like, oh man, this whole time I should have been. But like when you say value-added goods, keep in mind, I'm coming from the digital product realm, right?
Yeah.
Like before we met, I was doing videos. My products were digital. The way you described it was a lot of physical things. Yes, you're dealing with hummus. We get into the hunt. There's a cooler right here full of that. That's what, a 2-week expiration date. We're dealing with things that are super, super fragile, things that are physical, tangible. And there's a whole bunch of hoops when it comes to legalities and all those things, permits and stuff. And Hawaiian Farmers Market, we'll get into that. But like, first, like set the scene, because it was a huge hurdle for me coming from digital goods to like packaged goods, CPG goods, right? Yeah. With the family's dressing, Swiss and dressing. So I had to learn a whole lot of stuff real quick just to kind of survive. And then I was thrown into the business accelerator with you, put next to people like you, like everything you just said. Back then when I heard it, I'm like, oh my goodness. That's what I imagine when people are like, wait, what? FX3?
Yeah.
You know, like what? How many FPS? What, ISO? Like that was me, but listening to you guys and go ahead, set the scene. Like, what is a value-added good? What is a commodity? What is a consumer packaged good? What is wholesale? What is retail? What is direct to customer? Like, give us a basic landscape.
So real simple. So a commodity is something that's like traded in bulk. A lot of other people grow it or create it. So like rice is a commodity, wheat is a commodity, like mac nuts is a commodity. I mean, they come from a bunch of different places. You can buy them in bulk. It's hard to manipulate or change pricing is because so many people are selling it across the world that it's like, this is the price, it might go up or down. And then, you have some big companies, conglomerates and stuff that can maybe go to that, hey man, let's get the price down a little bit, or let's raise the price, or this and that. But besides that, it's somewhat stable pricing, unless there's like gas is an issue or something like that. But a commodity is basically something that a lot of people grow or have, and it's just traded out in the open, and it's you can kind of get the same price across the world. And then a value-added product is perfect example is like a macadamia nut. Like I could sell you a macadamia nut in the husk, like here you go, and then that's more of a commodity. Like that's people just trade those. But I'm going to add value by cracking it out of the nut. I'm going to roast it. I'm going to flavor it. I'm going to put it in a bag for you. So I've added all of this value to the macadamia nut, but I'm going to make a lot more money off of it because I just did all this work to make it available for you to easy to eat at home in your kitchen. So you don't have to crack it open. It's the world's hardest nut. So that's for starters. Like
harder than the Brazilian nut.
Harder than Brazilian nut. Yeah, it's the world's hardest nut is a macadamia nut. So again, I added value to a farm product eventually, essentially. So like sashimi or something like, or ahi, right? So the fisherman catches the ahi, he goes to auction, he sells it. So that's more of a commodity product. But then someone's going to add value by slicing it up, maybe drying it. That's a good one. So like our buddies, Kaimana Jerky over in the Big Island, they take the commodity, which is tuna, and then they slice it up, they dehydrate it, and make it into jerky, and then they sell it to you for way more than what they purchased it for. Obviously, there's a lot of loss and water weight loss and things like that, but they're adding value to a commodity product. So that's basically what's happening. So again, a farmer makes a product, and then someone like me or you or something adds value to the product and then resells it. Instead of just taking a mac nut and just reselling it again as a mac nut, we add value and then resell it as a flavored mac nut or a roasted or something like that. And then wholesale would be a business like mine that manufactured this value-added product and sold it to like a Foodland. So Foodland is a retailer. So I sell it to them at a wholesale rate, so lower than what the customer is going to buy, and then the customer is going to buy it at the retail rate. So for simple or math, I guess. So if I sell it, let's say I sell it to you for $2, and then you sell it your Foodland. So let's say I sell it to Foodland for $2, and then you're going to turn and sell it to the consumer for like $3.50, something like that. Or if you go to direct to consumer, if instead of me charging the consumer $2, I'll charge them $3.50. So then I make more of that money, but I'm also doing the work, right? I'm doing marketing, I'm shipping it to you, I'm hosting the Shopify website, things like that. So when me as a manufacturer sells it to another business, that's called wholesale. And then when I sell it direct to a customer, it's called DTC, direct to consumer. And yeah, there's a little breakdown of those words.